Yeah, it's or good morning. Yes. Beautiful life here. Yes, and I want to say I've been off YouTube for a while. But I decided to come on tonight. Actually, I was going to talk about visiting Happy Wife. She called me lady from Florida. Yes, I'm the one from Florida who went to visit her. And but then I made a comment on Carla's page. I was just running a joke, being humorous, and I sure her mom would have said, okay, should have just smiled at that. But Carla take it upon herself to be very insultive. Yes, very insultive. And actually, I didn't see the comment until late in the night, about 10 o'clock. Um, and there I was reading, yeah. And I saw she said Janet, and I'm saying, which Janet is she talking about? So I said, let me go check. Let me scroll back and see. And when I scrolled back, scroll back, I saw where she said, Janet, you're a disgrace. Yes. So just let's just listen to this, because I don't think I said anything wrong, even though I was just being humorous, because everybody knows Happy Wife is, everybody has a different perception of Happy Wife. Very controversial lady, yes, as a content creator. People will like her, people will not like her. Yeah, I didn't like her personality. Well, at first, I used to watch her from she was in Canada. So it's not that I just met Happy Wife a day or two ago, and then I start following her up and putting my little 2 cents here, regarding her comments. I've been following Happy Wife from she was in Canada. And then when she decided to return to Jamaica, she said she was packing up and going to Jamaica. And she came to Jamaica, and I've been following her since. But then when she was in Canada, she had nothing like this. Her channel was nothing like it is at present, or was at present, because then she wasn't the happy wife. She was, we know her as the big bamboo woman. Her joke she make. And then she came to Jamaica, and then she realized that I remember when I was on her Facebook, and she said to us that, because I used to comment on her page, and she said she has she's on TikTok, but she's not gonna encourage us, some of us, to come, because it's a different thing from what she's doing on on Facebook. It's gonna be outrageous, and I'm saying, so what? I never go over there. I didn't even think of going over there because I'm not a TikTok person. So she popped up on my Facebook one day, and obviously, whatever her content was on TikTok was this, the very thing came on my Facebook, and I'm saying, I was left speechless when I heard what she was talking about, and eventually following her, and then she started, about her husband, and I'm saying, this lady is crazy. Crazy. How can you talk about your husband like that? Because I thought she was genuinely speaking negative about her husband, but I guess she and her husband had conversation as to where that would go, because it's only content. It's content. It's just content, right? That's a character she was playing. Eventually, I understand that's a character. Hi, 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 nerd Rajo Dini. Can't even pronounce your name. Hello, welcome. Shauna Miller. Hi, Shauna. Welcome to my live. Yes, yeah, and thanks for the thumbs up. And so, I've been watching her ever since, and I usually clap back at her because of her negativity towards her husband, most of the time. And she would only say, okay, okay. She never respond to me, but she just, Nardia would only say, okay, all right, so fine. And then when she came Jamaica now, she took Hill. Even worse, because when she came Jamaica, she said she had a back problem. She going to work, and because of work, she had a back issue, and they were having issues with her about it. Didn't want to pay or something like that. Anyway, she decided to come back to Jamaica. But I guess she came back to Jamaica, she said, because she wasn't well. All right, and I believe she knew she had cancer then. I think she definitely knew she had cancer. Hi, Shauna Miller. I'm good. Thank you. Thank you. And so, Unger Tiger, don't watch gorillas. Ha ha ha. Anyway, um, so when she came Jamaica now, she said people were using her content and they were making money from it. She wasn't making nothing. So I guess she eventually decided to go hard, and then she realized um talking about her husband negatively and trying to defame or whatever celebrities or people who think they're celebrities, she would go after those persons, and then persons would eat back at her. Okay, fine. And I was one of those person who would eat back at her regarding I don't watch those dancehall thing or dancehall people or TikTok people or whatever. So I couldn't communicate regarding that. But regarding the negativity surrounding her husband and how she would do it, all right. And then I used to say her daughter, I guess because she knew who I was at the time, I think that's why she have this negativity towards me. Because I used to say, Carter, you are you're no different from your mother. You're just in a different branch, a different way. And you you're the one who what was the word I use, you know just like you have the card men and you have the men who follow them and try to influence you. Yeah, she was like that to her mother. She was behind the scene pushing, yes. So all right, she Carla eventually popped up, but I guess she popped up when the mother got really sick. All right, and she trying to do her thing. Okay, now I her mom passed, and yes, I made a comment saying, happy wife as always wanted to die, and so she get her wish. And I'm wondering how she doing wherever she is. Something to that regard, I said. Um, and of course, with a jovial, I didn't mean, I'm not taking all of this serious, because Happy Wife, everybody know for years, for over a year, Happy Wife has been crying, I want to die. She want to die. She want to die. She wants to die. She has cancer. She bedbound. She can't move. And she said she want to die. At one point, she pretended she died and didn't come on for like a week, and then she came back and apologized to us or our viewers or our followers. Didn't she? I didn't say anything wrong, even though I did it as a joke, but you took it seriously. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Shauna Miller again. Hi. Hi, hi, hi. You're the best. Okay, thank you, Shauna Miller. Yeah, you're the best too. Yes, and where are you from, Shauna Miller? I'm in Florida. This is beautiful life in Fort Lauderdale. Yes, so she no, let's listen to this. Let's listen to this. I said that, so the daughter in response, and I guess the daughter, I don't think she, matter of fact, I don't think she knew who I really am, because as I said, on our page, I said, if you knew who I were, I don't think you'd have said I'm a disgrace. Probably you would have said, Janet, I'm disappointed. Because if she knew who I am, I held her for mothers. I'm the one from Florida who your mom talked about. The one who went there and did all the cleaning and did all the fixing up of closet, looking after her lunch, anointing her two legs with my bare hands. So if she knew who I was, I don't think she would say I'm a disgrace. I was just making a joke, wondering how she is at the knowing happy wife. Anyway, let's listen to this. Let's listen to this.
Grace. Let's get into it. A woman has lost her life after battling many years of cancer, 1 year being bedridden. And the thought and the concern that you have is how the dead woman is doing, seeing that she wanted to die because she was suffering so much. Janet, you're a disgrace. Where mommy is right now, she's in no pain. She can't hear you. She can't see you. And this comment is for all the Janets that are wondering how Happy Wife is doing. Happy Wife is dead. And she's at peace. And she's feeling no more pain. But what I do know, Janet, you have much more important things to be concerned about. You have more important things to wonder about. And Happy Wife should not, in any way, shape, or form, be one of your worries. Janet, you're a disgrace for a big woman. Happy Wife is dead. She's in no more pain. Happy Wife is dead. No more pain. Janet, you're a disgrace to be worrying about what the dead is doing. For everybody else, I'm hoping that you're having a very lovely day. And I want to remind you that every time them see me, I tickle them the wrong way. And that's why they say, Carla, come off of the internet and grieve. But Happy Wife was a smart woman in life and much,
Hi,
much
Shauna. I'm
smarter
still
in
here. I'm
death.
sorry I have to
And
go
I'll be here to
now. Okay,
represent my
Shauna
mother and
Miller.
speak of my mother, cry for
Thank
my
you. You
mother,
can watch
and
my
laugh with my
videos.
mother and of her memories.
Check them
But
out.
Janet,
Thank you.
you're a
Thank
disgrace.
you.
Have a good day, guys. Bye. Disagree.
Okay, so there is the daughter Carla responding to me. Now she's operating as if her mom didn't say she wanna die. Her mom, for years, people can agree that her mom kept saying she wanted that, she wanted that. She don't want nobody pray for her. Now, she and I, her mom and I, come to the conclusion of a different understanding after I met her, because I went to see her, and I thought I was gonna do a separate video regarding that, but I'll do it right now. I'll just make two in one. Okay, I mean, it's not a video. This is live. This is live. Okay, so yeah, she's gonna call me a disgrace. A disgrace to what? A disgrace to what, Carla? And you said you went on my YouTube and you saw I have a problem. What kind of problem you see I have, Carla, more than the normal wife and husband? Probably because I put a picture regarding my husband. Maybe who doesn't have problem in marriage? My husband and I are separate, so what's the big deal? Is that a big deal? You see me on you go on my page and you see like I'm suffering. I look like I'm suffering. Look like I need charity. Look like I don't know, need YouTube money to survive. I have a job. As I said before, I work with disabilities. And if I don't have a heart, and people think I don't have a heart for saying that, I have a heart, because if I didn't have a heart, I wouldn't work with disabilities for 12 years, going 13. So it obviously, I have a heart, right? And I went there and I literally help taking care of your mom, which probably you didn't know about. You probably didn't know I am the person. So let me tell you. Let me tell you, Carla. Yes, I am the lady from Florida. Yeah, see? Do I look like I'm in need? What you see like I look like I'm in need? Yeah? I'm in my apartment. Yeah, I'm in my apartment. And as I said, and I did on your page, I said, okay, I am Janet, yes, the lady from Florida, according to your mom, because I told her I don't want her to to do a video, put my name out there, because I know how terrible the internet people can be. Every time I do help someone, it always comes out negative in some way, and it makes you don't want to even help people. And when I went St. Elizabeth, I didn't just went there and help your mother. I brought care packages, baby for newborn babies. 12 mothers got gift packages. So it wasn't only your mother I went there and did anything for. 12 mothers at the hospital. I sent it to the hospital, packaged them out, and sent 12 care packages. Right? Your mom, when how it started, I've always watched her and I always said, if I go to Jamaica, I'm going to look for her. It always crossed my mind. But my plan wasn't to go to Jamaica. As I said, I had a personal issue and I just packed my bag and I just take the plane, yes. And on the plane, of course, I had planned where I was going. I was going to go Ocho and just get an Airbnb to stay. Hmm. My husband have his house in St. Mary's, but I wasn't going to go there because our situation. Fine. So I was going to get myself somewhere in Ocho for a couple of days and then come back to my home. Anyway, on my way on the plane, it's like I think the Lord said to me, go to look for happy wife. Jens Carlons, thank you. My mhm. My yeah, on the plane, the Lord said, go to find happy wife. And I'm saying, I don't even know that side of the island. I don't know St. Elizabeth. I don't know what is it, Westmoreland or one of those places. I've never been there except for a child. I remember going Black River when I was a child. I don't know, remember at what age. Anyway, so I said, okay, let me go by the Knutsford and see which to get a bus. As I came off the plane and as I go straight, I didn't have any luggage. I just have a carry on, right? Everything packed in my carry on. And I went to Knutsford. I paid, I think it was 3,000 Jamaican at the Knutsford to get the bus to go to St. Elizabeth, Black River. And there was the bus just about to leave. I was just on time. I said, okay, and I jump on the bus, enjoy my long journey to St. Elizabeth. When I reached St. Elizabeth and I came up, and of course, I observed the community going to St. Elizabeth. The hurricane did horrible. I could see, wow, the devastation, you know? Um, and I said, wow. So when I reach St. Elizabeth now, people, thanks for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. When I reach St. Elizabeth, let me turn on the lights so the place doesn't look that dark. Yeah. Ah. Okay, people. Ooh, you want to see outside? Let's see outside. Let's see outside, people. There's my outside. Yes. You see outside? All right. I'm gonna have you hold a second. Let me see. Hold a second. Hold a second, people. Oh, people, it's an eclipse going on, right? Welcome back. Welcome back. There's an eclipse, the red moon. Yeah, it's going on now. Okay, so if you go on your TV, you may have information. Okay, I'm shaking up. I'm sorry. I just went to the restroom. All right. So, as I said, oops, sorry for the shaking. So, as I said, yes. So, I took the bus, reached um Black River. I didn't know where I was going. It was like about 5 o'clock when I reached. And there was this lady, and I said to her, obviously she came off the bus too. And I said to her, "Do you know which taxi I have to take to go to Black River?" She said, yes. She said no, she don't know, but she's going to Black River. So I said, "Really?" And she said, yes. She said, "You can come with me if you want. My friend is coming to pick me up, so I could ask her to give you a lift." She said, "Where in Black River are you going?" I said, "I have no idea where I'm going." She said, "You kidding? Are you kidding me? You don't know where you're going?" I said, "No, I just came. I want to go look for Happy Wife, a lady who I watched her video, and she's now sick. So I want to visit her." And she said, "Okay." And I said, "Well, I don't even know where I'm gonna stay after I visit her because I don't know this place. My spirit just tell me to go. The Lord just, I believe it's the Lord saying go to see her." Anyway, she said, "All right, you can stay with me for the night." As a matter of fact, she was coming from another state in the US. She had some business to take care of on her house due to the hurricane. So she said, okay, she's staying by a friend because her place is not really convenient. So she's staying by this friend, and she'll tell her friend that she's I'm gonna the situation, and I can stay. So after that, the friend came, yeah, and we went to the supermarket, and I was saying, "Okay, I want to get some stuff for Happy Wife," but I said, "Oh, it's too late. We're not gonna bother go Happy Wife tonight. Can we go in the morning, which would have been Sunday morning?" And she said, "Okay, yeah, that's better because I don't think it's a good idea going people place at night." And so we said, all right, in the morning, we would go back to the supermarket and get some things. And we just pick up a few things for ourselves. And I mean, total stranger, we don't know each other. And we went by the house, nice place, yeah. And she introduced me, well, to the room we were staying. Both of us stayed, both of us slept in one bed. We don't know each other. And one would have thought we met before. Anyway, we slept, morning came, and we had breakfast, make our breakfast, and we said we are gonna leave by 11 o'clock to go by Happy Wife. So there we go on our way. Which people? Happy Wife was just like 5 minutes away, if that much. Like 5 minutes away from the lady I was staying. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm giving this story with me and Happy Wife. Happy Wife, yeah. So when we stopped, she said she knows somebody in the town. She's gonna ask somebody if they know Happy Wife. The first person we see some people and we ask and they say no, they don't know who's Happy Wife. And then she went to a friend and the friend said, "Yes, man, she just up the road," and they directed us. And we went and we stopped right at her gate and who's gone? Yes, sorry about that. So we oh so we I think it's my daughter calling me. So we came out the so we my daughter calling me back again. So we came out the vehicle, yes, and her husband came out the gate and said, "Yes, this is where Happy Wife live." And he went and he told Happy Wife somebody could come to look for her, and she said, "Okay, you can let them in." I believe that's what she said, because he came and he said, "Okay, you can come in." And I went alone. The other persons, my newfound friend and the lady, they didn't come in. They dropped me off and they left. And I went and I introduced myself to Apple Wife and I said, Apple Wife, I come to look for you. And she hugged me with her cheek, not her hands. I went by her close to her and then she put her cheek to my cheek. And she was saying, and when I said to her I came from Florida, I'm coming straight from the airport. She said, what? Really? And of course, I told her my story. She made a video of it. I guess it's still on her. I don't know if it's still on her page or whatever. Apple Wife, and she made a video of it, lady from Florida. Yeah. And I said to her, I didn't go there with any intention because I didn't even take a picture with Apple Wife to show you I genuinely went there to help. I said, I come here. You know why I come to see you? Because I appreciate your service to my country, Jamaica, when you were police. Just like how America respect their cops and their soldiers and tell them they appreciate their service. I appreciate your service. Not because of what you're doing on the internet, because you and I could agree. Agree with some of the things with you on internet. So if that was it, I wouldn't even be here. I'm here because of that reason, your service. Then I told her my little story that personal regarding what upset me, and I just jump on the plane and come. That's me. And I said to her, is there something I can do? I could, and she said she don't know. I said, okay, I'll just clean the house. Maybe the house need cleaning. I'll clean for you. And she said, okay. I did. So I went around cleaning. It's a 4-bedroom house, and Carla can attest to that if she think I'm lying. That to show that I literally, and I am the one who went in the house, right? Because she's in her bedroom, and there's a big armchair beside her bed. There's a dresser on the left side, and then her closet is in front of her. Yeah. And then Chris' room is behind hers. Chris' room only has a bed, I think, and a closet, nothing much. And then there's another room behind Chris with there's a long passage, and on the right side there's the living, dining, kitchen, and there's another bathroom behind the kitchen, and there's a room also in that location, and there's a back patio there, yeah, with some things on it, I believe. And a little bit yard around the back. Yeah, and at the front you have on the left, coming from the back, the kitchen direction, on the left you have the carport, and then you have the veranda. Yeah, so you see. And then inside the living room, you have the TV, you have the oil lift, you have her armchair, which you have this covering over it, which I clean it out, dust it, and all of that. And there is the in the dining area, you have a dining table with the whatnot or whatever you call it, or break front in front of it, which I dust. Yeah. So I basically know, and there is in the living room there is a couch, which is a pull-out couch, according, because Apple Wife said to me, if you want to stay, you can stay, you can sleep. But I said, no, Apple Wife. She said, I have a couch out there, you can pull it out. You can pull out like a bed. So Carla, am I telling lie? There's a couch there, it can pull out like a bed in the front, right? And I told the Apple Wife, no, Apple Wife, I'm just staying up the road. It's fine. All right. So then I go along cleaning, and I said to her, I'm not going to chat you out because I know you're not that well. All right. So she slept in between, and I checked on her. You okay? You okay? And she said yes. Then she asked me to prepare her lunch. It was like after 1, and she said, "Can you make me bread and peanut butter with jelly?" Am I lying, Carla? Does your mom love peanut butter and jelly with on bread? Yeah, that's what she told me to make for her. And I don't think she would have asked me to do that if she didn't trust me. And she wouldn't send me into her fridge, ask me to go in the fridge if she didn't trust me. I'm quite sure she would have told her husband, which I'll talk about him shortly. Should have told him, Chris, this woman have to go. I don't want her here. She's plain and straight as that. Hmm. Anybody know happy wife? No, happy wife plain and straight, and she has discernment. So she would know if I'm come with negative vibes, right? And there I was cleaning, cleaning, and then I asked Chris to change the water for me so I could clean other areas. And that's what I did during the day. And after that, she said to Chris, Chris, cook some what you have in the fridge can cook for Janet. Yeah, what you have in the fridge can cook. See if we can cook. You have chicken or fish. And I said, oh, it's okay, happy wife. It's okay. No, I didn't. I called her Nardia because it's no character thing at that moment. It's a person I'm dealing with. I said, Nardia, no, I'm good because I brought bread and sausage. And matter of fact, it was good because I shared my bread with her. I used the bread to make sandwich because I asked her if she want bread. Yeah. And then Chris said he was working under the sink. There was a problem with the water under the sink, right, Carlo? Am I lying? It's the same woman who is a disgrace. And the kitchen was all messy with stuff all over the place. And I was saying, no, I'm gonna clean all that stuff, all of that stuff. But by the time I done clean the floor and went in the kitchen, Chris cleaned up everything. It was literally clean. I didn't have to do that. And then while I was there, Chris was doing some other thing. From I was there, Chris working. I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he got the time to do so many things. Because when I look, Chris was outside. He washed and hanging the clothes out on the line. I saw that with my own eyes. Chris hanging the clothes on the line. Nardia's clothes. And as a matter of fact, when talking to Nardia, Nardia said, I was saying to Nardia, um, she was talking and she said, I don't remember all the conversation, but then she said, Janet, it's only content. It's work. It's only content. What I say I'm going on with it's only content. I have to make money. I have to make money to survive because I don't have nobody to do it. So I have to do it. Yeah, that's what she told me. And I said to her, what happened to your son? And I'm not going to disclose what she said about her son, but she said her son is in the US and she gave me the story. And then with you, Carla, she said, you see Carla there? You think she was easy? She wasn't a easy child to grow up. You're just seeing the best of her now. That's what your mom said, Carla. I won't tell lie on the dead. You're talking about the dead. I won't tell lie on the dead. And that is why I think you said you did a video saying about your mother's child, something about your growing up, if you think it's easy growing up as happy wife child. No, it wasn't easy because she grew you all like you were soldiers. A ruffian soldier. And that's why you don't have that empathy when it comes to your mom. No, the empathy is not there. You're just doing a duty. It's like it's just a duty. It's just doing it because yeah, mom took care of me, mom did this, mom, but mom didn't show us much whatever. Mom treat us like we were soldiers. Mom didn't treat us like we were young ladies because you weren't acting like a young lady at the time, right, Carla? This is this is live and it's nothing hiding. Mm-hmm. So your mom, I won't say nothing about she didn't say anything about her second daughter. She didn't, to be honest. Only that I asked her because I usually ask her about her son when I usually go on the lie on her page when she comments. I will usually say, "What happened to your son? Not hearing anything about your son," and she never responds. She never, but she gave me this story. Mm-hmm. right? And that is why he can't come. He can't come. He cannot come to see his mom. She told me. All right, so I leave it at that. So, but you, Carla, yeah, you made the effort to come, even when you don't have it, because most time it's not you directly pay it out of your pocket. Because sometimes when you come, your mom still have to spend money, right? Anyway, it's not about you right now. I'm just saying what I did. So after I clean the house and I dust what to dust and some of the things, and then she said, I have that closet. It need tidying. It needs fixing. That's what Happy Wife said to me. Nardia said to me. She said, I have the closet need fix, and I said, don't worry, man, I'll fix it, which I did. I took out everything and fold everything, and I'm sure you went there and you see it sorted out, right, Carla? Yeah, it's same me, the disgraced woman. Same me. Yeah. And then after that, it was like something to 7, and I said, oh, I need to do your foot. I remember you wanted your foot to be massaged. I'm going to do it before I leave. And that's the last thing I did. So I got the oil. I don't remember if it's castor oil or Canadian oil or some oil, and she said to use, and I massaged her 2 feet. I said to her, I'm no masseuse, so if I'm not doing it good, don't say nothing. And she said, I can't feel nothing. I said, what? I said, what do you mean you can't feel nothing? She said, no, Janet, I can't feel nothing in my legs going down. I said, oh no, I can't believe this. And that's when I realized that this woman was really sick. Really sick. Yes. So I did that, the last thing, the disgraceful Janet, massage your woman. And I didn't use gloves. I did it naturally with my hands because I'm a caregiver with disabilities. I work with 16 disabilities. 16. Before that, I used to work with the elderly. So I know what it is to work with elderly, bedbound and everything, Alzheimer's, people with dementia. I've worked with them. I'm experienced. And I work with I function disabilities. And I work with people just bedbound disabilities. So I have the experience. And when I used to run my joke and said to, I didn't know I would be there, and I used to run the joke saying to Nardia, happy wife at the time on her content. I was saying, Nardia, you think you can't pay if I were to come and work for you? You can't pay me. If I were to come and work, take care of you per day, could you afford to pay me? You can't pay me. And I used to run the joke, but I didn't know I would literally go to help. And I did it from my heart. It has nothing to do with her and her character as happy wife. So I hope everybody listening and watching this live and eventually will hear my truth. And I'm the lady. I said to her, Nardia, I don't want you video me and I'm putting out no pictures because I know this internet can be wicked, nasty. And I have any people out there who, they take it otherwise. And that is why I was surprised. I didn't know she was doing a video of me, or I didn't know she took a picture of me. And then she showed my back. Yeah. And I didn't even remember to say, Nadia, let's take a picture, because I didn't go there with no intention. I didn't go there to get views or to get information to come give the public. Right? It wasn't my intention. My intention was to help her in whatever way I can. And as a matter of fact, I was planning to go back in October. If she was still alive, I would go back in October to let her know I would spend a day or two if she agreed to that, just to help her. I had that plan. So when it comes to her husband now, he's nothing like what you see or what happy wives say about him. It's just a character, right? Chris is wonderful. Chris doesn't talk much. Chris doesn't smile. Chris doesn't smile. Chris look like Trek. He's handsome. He looks good, honestly tall, boss, good body, and handsome. I didn't want to stay there for that night when she come tell me about me. Can try to, you can pull out the couch and sleep. Well, I said, no, I don't want to stay there for you. I don't want her to say me go take over a big bamboo. I don't want you to say, girl, I take over your big bamboo. No, me, I go in my yard. Which, wherever that was. Anyway, with Chris, yeah, he was cooperative when I said, Chris, can I, anything I'm doing, I ask his permission before I get it done, and he cooperated. And I saw that bicycle that him ride to, go to hospital, the bicycle in the corner on the carport, right, Carla, am I lying? The disgrace woman. Janet, you're a disgrace. A disgrace to what? I'm not a disgrace. I run this joke, and if your mom was alive, I guess she would have laughed at it. Come on, why people tend to treat it that if you want to live, people to have good things to say about you when you're alive, do good. Because if you do good, they're gonna say good. If you're mischievous, they're gonna say you're mischievous. If you're whatever, they're gonna say whatever, and still gonna talk. And this is when people get recognition most when they die, not when they're alive. I know your mother will get more recognition. You think she had recognition then? You think people will always say the good and people will always say, or people will always put both negative and positive because they're both negative and positive toward her life, right? So you don't expect people, you're saying she's in the grave. Even when in the grave, she does, she can't hear. I didn't say nothing bad about her and I never will, right? So after that, people telling the story, after that, 7 o'clock, about 7 o'clock, the lady came for me and I said, happy. I said, no, they have to go. The lady's here. And we hug again and say goodbye. And she gave me her number and say, oh, you WhatsApp? And we kept couple times, a few times, maybe 2 times on WhatsApp. And then I couldn't see not getting her. I realized she was down for a while until she was totally down. Right. So that's how it was with us. And then I left, and I tell you, see how God worked? Because like I was to go there. When I went now, went back home where I was staying with the lady, and I spent 2 days. I came this Saturday and I left St. Elizabeth the Tuesday. Wait, Saturday, yeah. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and I left Tuesday morning, yes. And the lady said, the lady I was staying with, I said to her, I'm going out to rest. I have to go look at a Airbnb. And she said, she was telling the lady of the house that I have to go look at Airbnb. I'm going out to rest. And the lady said, I have a friend of mine in Miami who has an Airbnb in Ocherios. I said, what? And she said, yes. So she said she's gonna call her and find out if it's available, and the car, and yes, and I can link with the lady. She called the lady. The lady said yes, she has availability, and she gave me a price for staying there, which was pretty reasonable. And she sent me the link and everything. And I sent her my money through. I think it was. She has what it name? And we send the money, and I sent the money to her. And the lady that I'm staying with now, she said, Jay, I want to come. I want to come with you to St. Anne. I want to know St. Anne. I want to know Ocherias. And I said, sure, you can come. So there we were. We as a matter of fact, before I left the lady house, I wiped out our house. And my friend, the lady I was no friend with, saying, Janet, you don't have to do that. But that's me. I just love to clean. So I mop out the place and keep the lady place that we were leaving, and change the sheet and so on. Yes. Um and then the morning, Tuesday morning, no, we decide before I go there, let me track back. So this Sunday morning I was going to Nordia. We went to the supermarket and I bought her 2 packs of Pampers, I think 14 each. and I bought her some rope, some couple tissue. Yeah, so I didn't go there empty hand. I went there with something. And I also went with yeah, and I know she appreciated it. So the disgraced woman did bring something. And back I took some baby stuff for young babies. I was saying, how am I gonna get these to the hospital, to these babies or the baby mother? And while I was at the lady, something in the bathroom need fixing. And the lady, owner of the house, called this man she know who does maintenance. Matter of fact, do fixing, whatever. And she said, you know, this man, his wife is a midwife in the hospital. I said, what? Seriously? She said, yes. When the man came and I asked him, he said, oh, yes, I can. So I said, could you give your wife these stuff to give to the hospital? The baby mother, she'll know how to deal with it. We already put them in care packages with at least 10 Pampers in each bag. And shimmies, like not shimmies, five baby, babies, um, what they call them, monkey suit or a mixture of each, and baby feed with baby feed, yeah, the little baby feed, the Gerber feed, and so on, like four or five in them, and shimmy, socks, and bibs in each, 12 of them, and I think one of them get a milk pump, a milk pump, electrical milk pump to pump the milk. So you see, I didn't just go there just to just do nothing. I went to help my own Jamaican, right? And I did it from the heart. And right now I have a whole lot of baby stuff to give away. And I'm going back to Jamaica. When I'm going, I'm gonna do this similar thing. But I probably go St. Anne Bay Hospital where I had my three kids. I'm gonna give them there. Right? St. Anne's Bay, my three kids born in St. Anne Hospital. All right. So back we forward now. We took the we went to or should I make a part two? This is so long. Yeah, I leave that part. I'm gonna make a part two, okay? And I'll write down where I left off to continue part two of Happy Wife. But the second part will be like traveling to St. Anne St. Mary. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So that was it. It was a pleasure meeting Happy Wife. And of course, I could see that she was really sick. And of course, she get really dark. She was nothing like how she looked on the internet. Her complexion was changing, dark, getting dark. So you could see she was really sick. And I know she appreciated what I did. And after that, meeting her, I came on her page and I would laugh. I would say things in a comical way because if you, Carla, were to observe and see that I come on your mom page, I would be a little comical at all times, which I was comical in death with her. It was comical, right? But then I understand why she did what she did. And I always come on and say, people, take it from me. It's content. It's only content. People, look at, no, I'm not going to show there. That can stay. Yeah. It was only content. And so I understand. So I didn't give her a hard time like I used to give, you know? Yes. But what I would say, I was saying, happy wife, you should be, let happy wife go and just look up where you're to your Lord, whoever you see your Lord is. Just worship, right? Just worship. It's not time to continue with the world, you know. Leave the world alone. You're going into a new atmosphere. Bring yourself with peace. Just sing your gospel music, listen to your gospel music, because I when I was cleaning her closet, she had two big Bibles in the closet. She does read her Bible, and she said she was training to be a pastor or something, so she know the word. It's not that she didn't know the word, right? And she had her Bibles. And I didn't go searching up her place. I went in the closet, it was right there. I had to take all this stuff to clean it up and pack them up. And that is it. I was surprised when when I came home, when I came back home from Jamaica, and as I enter my workplace, my coworkers them said, Janet, are you got happy wife? We know are you got happy wife. My girlfriend called me and said, Janet, when I told her I got Jamaica, she said, Janet, are you got happy wife? When she tell her husband, say, Janet got happy wife, and her husband said, no, couldn't be. Couldn't be. And she said, yes, it was me. I still couldn't hide it. And anybody know me know I love to help. I love to help. So it was a pleasure. And Carla, it doesn't matter what you want to think of me. I am a wonderful person. I don't have a problem. I don't have no issues than that the normal person doesn't have. Right? And I don't have to worry about nothing because I'm a citizen of America. My three kids are citizens, so I don't have to worry about Trump or my going doing my green card or I have to be doing this or I have to be doing that. I don't have to. I can walk freely, thanks to my mother. I can walk freely in America, do everything I want to do in America. I've been here 17 years. Okay, so and I'm in my apartment. No man ever give me 1 cent except my husband at the time. Yeah, he would cooperate, whatever. That's the only one. And I never run around because I never see no other man but my husband. 20 years. Never. One man. My daughter. Father. And my daughter is now 18. And we were like 2 years before she was born. Year and a half or something. Makes it 20 years to this day. So I wasn't one of those who, so I don't know what is it you know about me or what you see or whatever. So I'd love you to tell me, okay? And this is it, people. Thanks for watching. For those who was on my live, I appreciate it. Thank you. I think I'll come on more, right? 2 people watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Okay. Bye.